Hi, my name is Cold Beer, and let's start with Singularity.
Here you'll be a witness of so-called Singularity event that fractured time and threatened the world as we know it. Some say it was the day when everyone forgot the potato salad recipe. That bent time and space, a real apocalypse happened. So here, armed with powerful advanced weaponry and the experimental time manipulation device, you'll fight enemies from the past, the present and the abominations caught in somewhere in between. With the help of this magical device, you will age enemies to dust in seconds, manipulate objects outside the laws of gravity and degrade things or renew them to their pristine form. You will be a real time bender here.
I control time and space.
Yeah, like that. Batman Arkham Knight Premium Edition. Here, obviously, you will become Batman. The game comes with the introduction of the Batmobile and enhancements to signature features, such as free-flow combat, stealth, forensics, and navigation. The main feature, the Batmobile, is brought to life with an original design featuring a distinct visual appearance and a full range of high-tech gadgetry. It is designed to be fully drivable throughout the game world and capable of transformation from high-speed pursuit mode to military-grade battle mode. Vehicle sits at the heart of the game's design and allows you to race the streets at high speeds and catch most dangerous villains. Batmobile also augments your abilities in every aspect, from navigation and forensics to combat and puzzle solving. People on Steam are saying that Arkham Knight looks better than most games today and is immensely fun. The reviews are around 90%. The game is great. Killer Frequency. The year is 1987 and you will step into the shoes of a late-night radio talk show host. New in town and fallen from grace. The chief of police is dead, so the townsfolk turn to you for help, as apparently you are the only person in town who can run a phone line. The genre here is horror, but with dark humor elements. You will have to solve puzzles to save callers from being hunted down by a mysterious killer, or maybe there are more than one, you don't know. Every call you get here is life and death, and you with your wits and smarts will have to save the inhabitants of Gallows Creek. Well, at least you will try and probably fail. You know, the protagonist is as smart as you are. That's okay, you can try again. You will use branching dialogues to interact with a variety of eccentric small-town personalities, including potential victims and suspects. Explore your surroundings, gather clues, make decisions, solve satisfying riddles, and try to help each of your callers to survive the night. People who play the game are saying that the game is very addictive and fun. It has a very high review score and there are not a lot of games like that in general, so it's a really cool and original title. DUSK. This was one of the first modern boomer shooters I ever tried, and I can't say anything negative about it. Everything here is absolutely amazing, from the design of the levels to the atmosphere and even the feeling of your weapons. You know how it is super underwhelming when an expensive game with good graphics doesn't deliver the satisfaction when you press the trigger? Nothing like that here. DUSK has it all, from incredible sound design to impressive animations of dying enemies. They're not impressive graphically, you know, this is some pixel art game, but you get satisfaction, which is the most important thing. There aren't many better retro shooters than DUSK, although it is quite short. It will take around 8 hours of your life and will make them better. Crashlands. In this open-world survival crafting game, you are a galactic trucker whose latest shipment gets derailed, leaving you stranded on an alien planet. As you hustle to get back your packages, you'll become involved in a nefarious plot of world domination, which will require all of your wits to overcome. Here you'll learn recipes from the local sentient life, make new friends, uncover ancient secrets and fight deadly bosses. You can also tame everything and build yourself a home away from home as you learn to thrive in this unforgiving world. People on Steam are saying that the game is entertaining with funny dialogue and challenging combat. Almost 90% of the reviews are positive. Tyranny. In a realm where the tyrant has already won, you must decide how to reshape the world. Will you become an all-powerful dictator, or will you strengthen the pillars of a new regime? You are not a random villager here. In fact, you will wield a vast amount of power in the occupied lands. So basically, you are some kind of a Littlefinger. Just be careful to not end up like Littlefinger as well. So in Tyranny, your actions really matter, and no decision here is truly black or white.
Or Asian.
The choices here are morally obscure and will never let let you out of the situation easily. People on Steam really love that this game is very detailed and the world itself feels alive and immersive. The combat might be challenging, but it is fair, since it rewards the players who take the time to strategize. Just be warned that Tyranny is more like a book. Be ready for the walls of text everywhere you go.
Thief Simulator 2. It is time for you to become a thief. Steal from the rich, commit some burglaries, live the life of your dreams. No matter what others say, always keep in mind that every profession is honorable. Also, before committing to crime full-time, you can also try this game. People are saying that it will seriously teach you a thing or two. Although keep in mind that a thief's trade is not just an easy jog in the park. In order to get some practice, you will start with petty theft. This is how you'll gain the experience required to access more and more risky and, most importantly, more profitable jobs. You will gain levels, unlock new opportunities and get new useful tools. You know, every modern thief must have modern tools from AliExpress. As developers say, it's not only a crowbar and binoculars, but also an advanced equipment that becomes available as you progress, such as a laptop for hacking through security systems. I never knew that special laptops for hacking existed, but well, who am I to disagree? People on Steam are saying that this game will tickle your adrenal glands, so maybe don't drink too much coffee before playing.
STASIS Bone Totem. Perhaps I should start with the fact that the game has an overwhelmingly positive review score on Steam. That is always a great sign. Here you will take control of Mac and Charlie, a husband and wife duo who make their living by searching the ocean for salvage. But when you stumble upon an abandoned oil rig in the Pacific Ocean, you uncover a horrific secret, and the evil corporation behind it will do anything to keep it hidden. As you embark on your adventure, you will encounter an immersive narrative filled with spine-tingling horror and unexpected twists. STASIS Bone Totem, despite being a psychological horror game, is kinda relaxing because of the point-and-click nature and an interesting puzzles to solve. The Witness. I hate this game. The Witness is for smart people with great memory, and I'm none of these people. And although I like puzzles and all that, but by playing Witness I realize that I'm way dumber than I imagined. So if you like to test your memory and IQ, this is a great title for you. Just keep in mind that the results can be a bit disappointing. The game itself is set on a beautiful open-world island where you have to crack all the riddles to unveil a terrible secret. If you are not some puzzle maniac, you will never get there, but at least the game will show you your limits. CountryBalls Heroes. So basically this is a humorous Heroes of Might and Magic clone where the main heroes and monsters are country balls, the thing most of us know from the vast plains of the internet. For those who don't know, these country balls are used in comics or memes. They humorously represent the countries and their stances about various issues of the world, or just used to create plain stupid humor, which is best. So here you'll build up your base and recruit various country balls unique for each faction. Train multiple balls, each with its own strengths and weaknesses. Your balls can become a plumber, hussar, priest, drunkard, cowboy, and so on. You'll find 90 unique units and several factions. Players on Steam are saying that the game is cringy, but the cringe is kinda good cringe and not cringy, if you know what I mean. Last Train Home. Here you'll embark on a desperate mission through the depths of a wasteland ravaged by war. Your goal is to guide Czechoslovak soldiers back to home on board an armored train. But the path ahead is fraught with peril. Caught in the middle of a brutal civil war between Russia's Red and White armies, your unit must remain in fighting shape, managing what little resources you have and maintaining morale at all costs. Venture through the bleak and unforgiving landscape of Siberia, where the freezing cold and the merciless environment will push you to your very limit. Resources are scarce and your crew is exhausted, but you must never give up. All my life I rode made in Czechoslovakia trolleybuses in Vilnius. Some of them are still riding in the streets. They are like 50 years old and they still run. So one thing I'm completely sure about these guys: everything that's made in Czechoslovakia is unbreakable, except the country itself. What an irony. Townscaper. What a beautiful game this is. Well, it's hard to call it a game, to be fair. There are no goals or gameplay, just plenty of building and plenty of beauty. That's it. As developers say, Townscaper is an experimental passion project, more of a toy than a game. Pick colors from the palette, plop down colored blocks of houses on the irregular grid, and watch Townscaper's underlying algorithm automatically turn those blocks into cute little houses, arches, stairways, bridges, and lush backyards. You can build your own cold beer town, cold beerville, or even whole called Bieristan and enjoy the amazing view. Game has overwhelmingly positive reviews and I can see why. Deep Rock Galactic. This is a 1-to-4 players first-person shooter featuring badass space dwarfs and 100% destructible environments. Here you can play alone or work together with other players as a team to dig, explore and fight your way through a massive cave system filled with hordes of deadly enemies and valuable resources. Pick some powerful guns like flamethrowers, Gatling guns, portable platform launchers, and show those puny aliens who's the boss. Dwarfs may be small, but they are really powerful. We in Lithuania have a saying,
Neugis or smogis.
Meaning not the size, but the punch is what really matters. And your punch is really, you know, probably weak in real world, but really impactful for the alien population in these dangerous caves. People on Steam are talking that there is no reason not to play this game, and I have to agree, show those monsters the true meaning of extinction.
Rock and stone, baby.
Batman: Arkham Origins. Although it was the third Arkham game, it is the first one story-wise. Taking place before the rise of Gotham City's most dangerous criminals, the game showcases a young and unrefined Batman. He faces a defining moment in his early career as a crime fighter that sets his path to becoming the Dark Knight. The game features a pivotal tale set on Christmas Eve, where Batman is hunted by 8 of the deadliest assassins from the DC Comics universe. You will become a rookie Batman as he encounters for the first time many of the characters that shape his future. Here you'll find a case file system that allows you to analyze seemingly impossible to solve crime reconstructions in real time. Combining Batman's sensors with a Bat computer, you can digitally recreate crimes and study detailed simulation of the act as it happened. So it can sound weird, but this is a detective game. But you are not only an investigator, oh no, you are the justice itself. CARRION. This is a reverse horror game in which you assume the role of a shapeless blob of doom. You will stalk and consume those that imprisoned you and spread fear and panic everywhere you slither. Your goal is to eat as many puny humans as possible, although the main goal is to escape the facility. Here you'll be able to mind control people as well, and after the control part, feast on their delicious fleshy bodies. The game sometimes is a bit of a maze, since there is no map, so you will have to find where to go all by yourself. But when you see, or more likely be the cause of, all the gore and violence, it is totally worth it. This is a cute, almost 5-hour adventure, so be careful. The game might leave you longing for more blood. Project Warlock. Here you will become a mysterious warlock and embark on a dangerous mission to eradicate all evil. Yeah, seriously, I thought warlocks are evil, but here you are good somehow and want to smite evil creatures with everything you have, every single one of them, no matter where and when. You will travel through time and space to wreak mayhem and destruction like in the golden days of FPS games. You'll explore 60 levels in 5 settings, from ice Antarctic base to sands of Egypt or medieval castles. As in all classic games like this, you will find keys to unlock passages, reveal secret doors with golden ammo, use lifts and hidden buttons to access new areas, and of course, finally, you will descend to hell and face the ultimate challenge and emerge victorious or, you know, perish like a puny loser, which will never happen. You are awesome, my friend, never doubt that. Train Valley 2. A lot of people like trains, and a lot of people like boobs, but sadly this time it's a game about trains, not the other things, although equally fun and entertaining.
No.
Well, you're probably right. So, as you can probably guess, Train Valley 2 is a train tycoon puzzle game. Here will take your railroad company from the days of the Industrial Revolution and into the future, meeting the needs of the valley's cities and industries. Build the railroads, upgrade your locomotives, and keep everything on schedule without delays or accidents. Well, we all know that you probably want to avoid some derailments. Also, people on Steam are saying that the game is quite challenging at higher levels. Honestly, that is a perspective of your IQ. Be sure you have it. Titan Quest Anniversary Edition. Initially, the game was released in 2006, so it would be outdated by now, but thanks to this major overhaul, it is not. And it has more than 90% of positive reviews, so please, nail down your attention if you like games like Diablo. So if you ever played the old version, keep in mind that here you will get better resolutions, larger camera distance, multiplayer, mod support, Steam achievements, improved enemy and pet AI, countless bug fixes, dozens of new heroes, and so on. Titan Quest is a great game, one of the most beloved by the action RPG community, and I couldn't recommend it to you enough. It's literally like a potato itself in a potato salad, and people on Steam are saying that this is a masterful variation of Diablo formula and an absolute must-play if you like isometric hack-and-slash titles. Hitman Absolution. Betrayed by the agency and hunted by the police, you find yourself pursuing redemption in a corrupt and twisted world. Players around the globe are saying that this is one of the best, or maybe even the best Hitman game. It has a kinda predictable story, but it doesn't really matter. The gameplay and your approach to missions makes all the difference. Will you disguise yourself as a policeman, crazy convict, butcher, or a doctor of ding-dongs? You never know until you play. This game kinda teaches us that other people will always judge you by your clothes. And if you're not agreeing with me, come on, dress like a clown for your next job interview. Or, you know, like a priest and try to get a job in the kindergarten.
Challenge accepted.
Anyway, this is a great game, and I think that if you have never played anything from the Hitman franchise, this is a great game to start. Steering Abyss. This is an indie tactical squad-based game with strong RPG elements. Here you'll uncover the ancient mysteries of the oceans depicted in the classic style of Lovecraftian horror. You take charge of the surviving crew of a submarine that sinks while on a top-secret research mission during the early years of the Cold War. You find yourself surrounded by the ruins of a forgotten civilization, and your vessel is too badly damaged to escape the seabed. You slowly unravel all the mysteries of the depths in a desperate quest to rescue your missing crew members and fix the crippled submarine. The choices you make determine the fate of your crew and the entire world. People on Steam are saying that here XCOM meets Cthulhu, and that is all you need to know. If you are in doubt, you can play free demo version. Amnesia: The Dark Descent. This is a first-person survival horror game about immersion, discovery, and living through a nightmare, an experience that will chill you to the very core. You wake up without much memories and stumble through a narrow corridors as the distant cry is heard. It is getting closer, and you somehow are pretty much sure that there are no actual babies in this castle. You don't know what will you encounter here, but the fact is that the castle is huge, and you are not alone. And you have no weapon, you can only hide in the darkness. Funny thing is that the darkness makes you mad, and the light attracts nightmares. This is an absolute lose-lose situation. So in general, if you ever wanted to be an actual protagonist in any Lovecraftian story, Amnesia will do everything it can to make you actually feel the dread. It will make your palms sweaty and the hair on your back will stand up. The game endorses the Lovecraftian trope of madness as you travel deeper and deeper down the cellars and dungeons of an ancient castle. What will you find deep down below? Nothing very nice, I promise. The game is an absolute gem with overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam.
It's time for you to subscribe.
Endless Space 2. Your story unfolds in a galaxy that was first colonized by godlike beings known as the Endless, who rose and fell eons ago. All that remains of them are mystical ruins, powerful artifacts, and a strange, near-magical substance known as dust. Nobody knows the origin of the dust, but I think it's the dried-out leftovers of potato salad once made by these godlike beings, so instead of eating you have to snort it. Anyway, here you'll explore distant star systems, discover the secrets of ancient races, build colonies on distant planets, manage trade routes, and develop advanced technologies of unthinkable power. Also encounter new life forms, which you will befriend, go to war against, or just cynically exploit. Or you'll be exploited. You never know what hides deep in the void. You know, the universe is endless, but still somehow smaller than your mama. Lies of P. In this Souls-like game, you are a puppet who's caught in a web of lies with monsters and untrustworthy figures. You are awakened by a mysterious voice that guides you through a plagued city of Krat, a once lively place that has been poisoned by madness and bloodlust. If this description reminds you of your ex, then all good, you are half ready for the adventure. Here you will develop a unique combat style to counter your enemies by weaving together dynamic weapon combinations and activating new abilities. Lies of P is a reimagined fairy tale of Pinocchio, reinterpreted as a dark, grim narrative. You know, a Pinocchio for adults. When you lie, it's not the nose that's growing. If you add another P to the name of the game, you will understand what I have in mind. No, really, nothing like that, it's a joke. I played the demo version of the game and all I gathered was, again, that I suck at Souls-like games and I shouldn't even touch them. If you are like me, avoid this title. Few hits from big enemies and you are dead, and you will have to replay the whole chapter again. If that doesn't scare you, keep in mind that the game has around 90% of the positive review score and is probably a thing you want to try. The Deadly Tower of Monsters. The game treats itself as a 1970s movie. That is not a joke, that is the whole concept of the game. It is filled with classic themes such as the daughter versus tyrant father, the planet full of innocent ape creatures, the dashing space-age liberator, the robot companion, or the tower full of treacherous mutations. As developers say, a timeless classic for all ages. So in general, this is an action-adventure sci-fi comedy game with dynamic narration set in a retro-futuristic environment. You can play it alone or together with your friends or mother-in-law on a shared or split screen. Game has full controller support and, honestly, full support of your poverty, because the price is more than friendly. Dead Space. Of course, I'm speaking about the recent remaster of the game, which is a fantastic game just like the original Dead Space, but I can almost assure you that if you played it a long time ago, you won't spot any difference. I completed the first game more than 10 years ago, and when I watched someone play the remastered version, honestly, I couldn't see anything new. Yeah, the graphics now are shiny and beautiful, but it is exactly how I remember the original version. So the remake is a great game on two occasions. First, if you want to replay the game, and not because there is a remaster available, but because of the game itself. And second, if you never played it. In that case, I can assure you, this is one of the best horror shooter games I ever played. Well, it's more like a thriller with a bunch of jump scares, but the atmosphere is amazing. The surroundings of the space station are made incredibly well, and the necromorphs are really creepy. Be sure that your mental balls are strong and hairy. 10 cold beers out of 10. Lost in Random. This is a gothic fairy tale inspired action adventure where every citizen's fate is determined by a roll of the dice. That may sound as a very random thing, and believe you me, it is, but around 90% of positive reviews are here for a reason. So you will step into a beautiful and haunted wonderland where you must venture through the 6 twisted realms of random, each with its own maddening set of rules. Help its unpredictable inhabitants, save your sister, well, or mine, I don't mind, and discover a twisted tale in the process. Basically, if you enjoy Tim Burton's creations, this game may be a real spoon of potato salad for you, because it definitely draws inspiration from Burton's works. The game has an interesting story with motivational moments you can relate to, nice humor but a bit clunky combat, and it's really short. Also, people on Steam are warning players that if you complete a chapter, you can't go back to it ever again. So if you are hunting for achievements, do it in the first try. Elden Ring. The game is balanced for those who like Souls-like games, but it is possible to play for people without masochistic tendencies as well. The game is a bit easier than Dark Souls, but just keep in mind that despite that, it is really challenging and you will be dying all the time. Although this time it's an open world and you can go wherever you want. And the game doesn't hold your hand or penis, so you are free to go and explore various places. You may ask, how to know where to go then? Well, you will know, believe me. If you put your nose in the wrong area, you will die a little bit quicker than in other places. Anyway, the world is beautiful, enemies are really original, and you may not have a lot of fun here, but the atmosphere of the game will forever stay with you. Elden Ring is not something you can easily forget about. Titanfall 2 Ultimate Edition. If you don't know what Titanfall is, you may think that this is only a multiplayer battle royale of some sort, but it is not. The game actually features a very nice, although really short single-player campaign packed with action and inventive twists. Here you play as militia rifleman stranded behind enemy lines who encounters a veteran Titan. You must work together to uphold a mission you were never meant to carry out. And of course, in Titanfall 2 there is a multiplayer portion of the game with fast-paced, first-person action with Titans and deadly pilot abilities. This version of the game includes all the deluxe and jump starter content, which includes new Titans, war paint, weapons, tokens, and even more, and this price is more than great. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Almost 90% of positive reviews left by tens of thousands of players is definitely proof that the game is done right, and I can confirm that. I played the game for several hours and I had a lot of fun, although I had to stop playing because I got the game on my PlayStation and shooting with the gamepad was a real pain for me. I died way too often for my comfort zone, you know. Anyway, now I'm thinking of getting it on PC. The price is really nice, all I need is time. So this edition sold on Steam is called Celebration Edition, and along with the base game it includes all past and future updates and many other cosmetic things you don't really care to hear about if you never play the game. So here up to 40 players fight in massive battles, pilot huge array of vehicles, and can even participate in space combat. Also, one thing that is really uncommon for any game released by Electronic Arts is the ability to train offline. You can do that, and only with your new knowledge you can start, you know, dying in real-time multiplayer battles. Yeah, dude, don't expect expect to be thrown into combat with noobs like you. Everyone will have more experience than you do, but you have to collect your strength and show them who's the boss.
Probably not you.
Apsulov, End of Gods. In this futuristic Viking horror, you awaken a sanctuary of steel and concrete. It was built to research and exploit the worlds of Yggdrasil and to house an artifact buried in the earth eons ago. Your task is to unveil the secrets of the mythology, the artifacts themselves, and explore the realms. The game is pretty scary, but as I always say, the funny thing is the name. Apsulov to me sounds like a Slavic surname, you know.
Artyom Apsulov, engineer of Chernobyl power plant. It's all your fault.
People are saying that Apsulov End of Gods has an interesting story, great voice acting, but also a bit clunky combat. But it's not a combat game, but more of a walking simulator. Be sure you like these. Anyway, the game has very positive reviews on Steam, so I can only suggest you to dive into this sci-fi Viking horror and have a great time.
And now, thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Bye.